You might be wondering, what do the men's underwear, Super Bowl indicator and movie theater admissions indicator have to do with forecasting the economy trends? Well, get ready to be surprised, because these seemingly unrelated items can offer us unique insights into the state of our financial world. Today, we're about to uncover some of the most intriguing and unconventional financial indicators that go beyond traditional statistics and market analyses. Welcome to Financial Ingredients, where we delve into the fascinating world of finance and economics. Enjoy the knowledge quiz. During a recession, what was the observed trend in movie theater admissions when the unemployment rate increased in 1982? A. Movie theater admissions remained constant. B. Movie theater admissions decreased. C. Movie theater admissions increased. D. Movie theater admissions had no correlation with the unemployment rate. In contrast to taking a full vacation, movie theaters provide a more affordable means of escaping reality during economic recessions. In 1982, a substantial surge in unemployment rates coincided with a 10% rise in movie theater attendance. Conversely, when unemployment rates declined, so did movie admissions increased. A similar trend emerged during the challenging times of the 2008 recession, where movie theaters continued to draw crowds, resulting in a 17.5% surge in ticket sales in 2009. In the context of a fictional men's underwear index as a financial predictor, what does a significant decrease in underwear sales suggest about the state of the economy? A. Economic downturn or recession. B. Economic stability and growth. C. No correlation with the economy. D. Hyperinflation. Former Federal Reserve Chairman Alan Greenspan once shared with veteran NPR correspondent Robert Krulwich a unique perspective. The state of men's underpants can reveal a lot about the nation's economy. He argued that men's undergarments, the most private of attire, are seldom seen by anyone except in locker rooms, and, for the most part, people pay them little mind. Looking at the indicator itself, data from Euromonitor underscores this trend. Sales of men's underwear saw a decline during the 2008 financial crisis, rebounded in 2010 as the economy recovered, and took another hit in 2020 during the pandemic-induced recession. Men's underwear, being the least publicly visible garment and often receiving the least attention, becomes a noteworthy economic indicator during economic downturns. When a recession tightens budgets, men are inclined to postpone purchasing new underwear until economic conditions improve in compare to women. This explanation seems to hold true, as statistics reveal that, on average, men own significantly fewer pairs of underwear compared to women. In the UK, for instance, men own an average of just 13 pairs, in contrast to the 34 pairs typically owned by women. What's more, men tend to hold on to their underwear for an average of 4 years before discarding them, even though experts recommend replacing them every 6 months. We men are just disgusting creatures. Now, let's shift our focus to an indicator that delves into women's behavior. Why do women in Japan tend to cut their hair shorter during economic slumps, as indicated by the Japanese haircut indicator? A. It's a cultural trend, unrelated to economic conditions. B. Shorter hair is easier to maintain and less costly. C. Longer hair is considered more fashionable during recessions. D. It's a sign of rebellion against economic challenges. The Japanese haircut indicator suggests that during economic slumps, women in Japan often choose to cut their hair shorter. This is primarily because shorter hair is easier to maintain and requires fewer visits to hair salons, making it a practical cost-saving measure during challenging economic times. The Japanese haircut indicator is derived from a survey conducted by the Japanese cosmetics company Kao Corp. Initiated in 1987, this indicator relies on data collected through annual surveys of 1,000 Japanese women in their 20s. These surveys categorize hair length into 4 distinct groups: short, medium, semi-long, and long. The research findings reveal a distinct pattern. Women in Japan tend to prefer longer hairstyles during periods of economic prosperity, while they opt for shorter styles when the economy faces a downturn. In 1990, the data showed that 60% of the surveyed women maintained long or semi-long hair. However, by 1997, during an economic slump, short or medium-length hairstyles accounted for more than half of all haircuts for the first time. In 1998, reflecting Japan's enduring economic growth, over 80% of women reverted to long or semi-long hairstyles. Interestingly, the last time shorter hairstyles were more prevalent was in 2004, marking a shift as Japan's economy began to recover from the challenges of the lost decade, which followed the burst of the 1980s economic bubble. The fundamental reasoning behind this pattern is based on the belief that women chose shorter hairstyles during difficult economic times due to limited financial resources. The assumption is that these financial constraints led to a preference for shorter, more cost-effective styles because they entail reduced spending on hair care products like hairsprays and gels, which are typically used more abundantly with longer hair. Hey, everyone! If you've been enjoying the content so far, I'd really appreciate your support. Researching and creating these quizzes takes a lot of time, especially when it's on top of a full-time job. By hitting that subscribe button, you not only help us reach our goal of 100 subscribers but also motivate me to keep bringing you more engaging financial content. It's a small click for you but means the world to me. Let's go forward with 3 fast 1. What is the primary purpose of the Big Mac Index? A. To rank countries based on their consumption of fast food. B. To determine the price of a Big Mac burger in different countries. C. To assess the affordability of fast food in various regions. D. To determine if currencies are undervalued or overvalued. The Big Mac Index is a tool used to evaluate whether currencies are undervalued or overvalued in comparison to the US dollar. It does this by comparing the price of a Big Mac burger in various countries, making it a playful but insightful way to assess relative currency strengths. Will you continue tracking these indicators, or are you inclined to focus on well-established metrics like the unemployment rate, consumer price index, producer price index, and gross domestic product? Please share your thoughts in the comments. What does the Super Bowl indicator suggest about the stock market? A. When an AFC team wins, it's good for the stock market that year. B. When a team from the NFC wins, it's good for the stock market that year. C. The Super Bowl outcome has no impact on the stock market. D. The stock market performs better when the Super Bowl goes into overtime. The Super Bowl indicator suggests that when a team from the National Football Conference, NFC, wins the Super Bowl, it's good for the stock market that year. If a team from the American Football Conference, AFC, wins, the market is expected to have a bad year. I couldn't find any evidence to support this indicator, except the description in Investopedia. I believe it may be just a playful superstition. In the context of the butter and margarine indicator, what does the preference for margarine during economic downturns suggest about consumer behavior? A. Increased preference for healthy eating. B. Greater awareness of dietary concerns. C. A tendency to save money on groceries. D. A preference for the taste of margarine. The butter and margarine indicator has its roots in Norway, and it stands as an unconventional economic metric. This indicator evaluates economic health by observing consumer choices. During economic hardships, people tend to favor butter over margarine, considering it a more luxurious choice. Now, for our last indicators, we won't have a question because we all know the answer. When cab drivers start offering stock tips, it's often seen as a telltale sign that the market might be in a bubble. This is a perfect example of the contrarian indicator phenomenon, where widespread optimism can actually be a warning of an impending downturn. There are numerous other intriguing indicators, such as the Tooth Fairy Index and the Bicycle Sales Indicator. However, the next one we're about to mention might provide even deeper insights. Billionaires' actions. keeping an eye on the actions and investment choices of billionaires and high-net-worth individuals is at times employed as a gauge of market sentiment. For instance, when prominent billionaires commence purchasing or divesting specific assets, it tends to draw significant attention. As we conclude our journey through these intriguing financial indicators, remember that the world of economics is complex. While these indicators provide valuable insights, never base your decisions solely on one indicator. Short-term economic movements are influenced by many factors, so always make rational and educated choices with your money. This video is not a financial advice. Thank you for joining us, and stay curious and well-informed. Until next time.